Sleeping with the Enemy is a really great episode of The Simpsons, but also a very triggering episode. I think most of my thoughts for this are going to contain spoilers, so I'll just talk very briefly about what it is about and give some kind of very brief thoughts, and then I'll give a spoiler warning. This is the third episode of the 16th season, directed by Jim Reardon and Lauren MacMullan. And we have two main narratives. The main focus is Marge kind of taking in Nelson because her own children don't want to spend time with her. And she sees Nelson trying to eat tadpoles, if I remember rightly. And she takes him in and, gives him money to do odd jobs and really shows him what a kind and attentive parent can be like, which, as we know with Nelson, is not something he gets at home. And I love how that narrative developed, and it was so surprising. But my other thoughts are spoilers, so I'll keep that for a moment. The other aspect is the triggering aspect, and the twins make fun of Lisa and say she has a big butt, which she doesn't. She's not animated like that. But she becomes paranoid and obsessed and doesn't eat and exercises loads, and it's really triggering. But Lisa does have some good commentary on how it's an unhealthy obsession, and how store mannequins shouldn't look the way they do because they're unrealistic. Some of them I feel are getting better nowadays, but a lot of them are still not great. To the point where a lot of them have the clothes pinned at the back because the clothes are actually too big for the mannequins, even the smallest sizes. So I feel like it handled it very well. And she's only 8 as well, which is the ridiculous thing, but unfortunately these obsessions can start as young as 8. So yeah, I think they handled that part of the narrative really well, but it is triggering, so that's just something to bear in mind when you're going into this. I don't have anything else to say about that part of the narrative. I don't really want to talk about that part, but I do want to talk about Nelson. So there'll be spoilers from now, but I want to mention a few things that I thought were really great. A few things that are not necessarily spoiling the development of the narrative, but they're funny things. So I'm going to say spoilers from now. Everything I'm going to discuss are specific things within the episode that may spoil it. And the first thing is when Homer was doing a sketch of himself, which itself I was really enjoying. I thought it looked pretty great to see Homer animating Homer. Well, illustrating really, but he then commented on the M and the G in his hair and his ear. Now, I am aware that Homer's hair looks like an M for Matt and a G is his ear for grinning. But had I not known that, and I watched that episode and that revealed it to me, my mind would have been blown, as it was when I first found that out. So I thought that was pretty cool. We get to see Skinner and Krabappel. They're kind of together again, but kind of not as seriously, but still happy that, they're back together, at least in some way. And Marge standing up to Nelson's mother. Way to go, Marge. I absolutely loved it. But of course, the big spoiler is what happens at the end with Nelson's father, and I was just so moved. I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming, and it was so wonderful. Now, the reason why he disappeared is a bit peculiar, but at the same time, yeah, alright, fair enough. At least it wasn't his fault, I guess. But yeah, that was lovely. I'm really keen to see what effect this has on Nelson going forward. I would think it's going to be one of those things in The Simpsons that might be forgotten about. Maybe his father will be mentioned again, but I don't think Nelson as a character will change. Because whenever Nelson's had an opportunity to change, such as dating certain characters or seeing the error of his ways in other lights, then it hasn't lasted. And I like that. I like that he's generally true to his character. But we'll see. You might already know, I'm not that far ahead. The episodes I'm watching now are basically, I'm reviewing them in real time. I watch it and review it immediately. I haven't seen any of these episodes before. Maybe some I'll have caught on the TV, but I don't think so. I think from about season 14 onwards, they've been new episodes to me that I've never seen before, which is great because it means I've got another 16, 17, I think there are 33 seasons on Disney Plus. I'm not entirely sure how many seasons there are. Are there 35 yet? The point is, I have a lot of fresh Simpsons content to watch, which I'm really excited about. and getting to watch them for the first time and kind of give my first review of them is a different experience to the previous episodes where I've seen them multiple times and I'm recapping rather than doing an initial review. But either way, slightly getting off topic, I have to say Sleeping with the Enemy is one that I really thoroughly enjoyed.